Greetings, Grey Witch here. If you are like me and you own a vehicle warehouse, then you know how cool it is to be able to try out paint jobs and color schemes before you pay to put them on your own personal vehicles. One of the bad things about the vehicle warehouses is that if you are selling a lot of vehicles, then you're also painting a lot of vehicles. And it's real easy to get burned out on the painting, and then your personal vehicles paint jobs start to suffer and all look the same. So when that starts to happen to me, I like to look for ideas and paint jobs from stuff that you normally wouldn't think about getting paint jobs and color schemes from. But before we go into that, I want to talk about the types of finishes you can apply to your vehicles. Alright, so now we'll jump in this car and we'll check out some of these finishes. Let's come down here to respray. Alright, so the first finish is chrome. Now this is a mirror-like metal finish, and it will go with any other color in the game because basically it has no color, so it'll go with anything. Next is classic. Now this is a solid color paint with a high gloss finish, just like your regular paint that would come from the factory. Stock finish, plain Jane, simple, just color with a high gloss finish. Nothing really special about it. Your basic simple paint job comes in a variety of colors. I like to use this as a secondary color mainly for like stripes and stuff like that. Anything I can come up with. Now your crew colors are a custom color that you create on your Rockstar Social Club. So this can be anything, and you can apply a metallic pearlescent to it, so it's pretty cool. Your mattes are a solid color paint with a low luster or dull finish, and you can add a pearlescent to this to create a satin finish. I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. And now we're into metallic, which is a solid color paint with metal flake that gives a paint a sparkling effect, and it shows off the lines and the curves of the vehicle. And this is probably the most popular type of paint job that they use in the game. It just makes the cars look really good, and there's a lot of tricks that you can do with metallic paint jobs and pearlescent to really come up with a custom paint job, especially if you only have a one color scheme type deal for your paint car. Now you have metals, which is just your basic bare metal. You got steels, aluminum, and you can come in your gold. And you have a brush gold, which is kind of a matte satin kind of a finish for that, which is pretty cool. And then you have pearlescents, which add depth to your base color and give you a soft glow or color shift. So now I'm going to show you how to do the satin finish. So the first thing you want to do is pick your matte color. So we'll just go with black here. And you want to come down to metallic. Come on to black, and then just hover over it. Don't select it, just kind of float over here and just let it sit. And then you want to back out of this menu and go into the plate, and then just change the plate. That's all you got to do. And now go back to respray, primary color, and now come down to pearlescent, and you can change the pearlescent. And this adds a lot of really cool features to your paint jobs, because you can change the color to give it a soft glow or a color shift, and it really looks cool. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. Now one of the cool things you can do is mix finishes to come up with some really cool paint jobs. Now this first one's kind of a glow, using the matte dark red and the Torino red pearlescent to give it that satin finish, and it really does look pretty awesome. I love this color, and it looks really good on cars that have just that one color for the primary, and you can't really do anything else. Now this is an example of the color shift. I use the metallic bright purple and ultra blue pearlescent, and it just shows how the pearlescent will switch between one color to another. Another awesome trick for coming up with good paint jobs when you only have one color for your color schemes. And this looks pretty awesome, especially in the bright sunlight. It'll throw off some really good colors. You can mix a lot of really good colors like this. Now this one here shows off the lines. Now if you look at the top part of the half of the car, you can see the curvature of the wheel well. And if you notice it goes down into the classic, then you can't see the curvature. And that shows off how metallic shows off the lines and curves of the car, where classic doesn't. It's just basically a paint that covers the car. So you need to keep that in mind if you have paint jobs that split the vehicle and stuff like that. Even though the pearlescent will cover the classic, it still won't show off the lines as good as the metallic will. So that's one thing to keep in mind when using mixing the classics and the metallics. Now the crews are really cool because you can come up with any color that you want, and you can add a metallic over it. Now for this, my crew color is like a real bright neon lime green, and I just added a diamond blue pearlescent over it. You can't really see in the bright light because it's just so bright of a paint job, but it does look really cool in the soft light. And something to think about for cool paint jobs. Now here's an example of chrome and white and black. All three of these colors, chrome, white, and black, can be used with any other color because they have no color. So they'll go perfect as a secondary or a primary color in a paint scheme. Any of these will work awesome. And they just are basic neutral colors. They have no effect on another color, so it's a really good idea to use these. Now here are some of my ideas for paint jobs that I come up with. Now, one of my favorite comic book characters is the Green Goblin. So of course I had to come up with a car that looks like that. And I just used metallic lime green and matte shafter purple. And it gave me a really cool way to come up with a paint scheme for a car that you normally wouldn't think about. You know, or it could be the Incredible Hulk if you change the color just a little bit on the top, maybe a little darker green, something like that. Now my favorite sports team is Colorado Avalanche. I'm a hockey fan, so I have to paint a car similar. So this is what I used for my Phoenix. It's metallic garnet red and classic Saxon blue. I think it comes out pretty cool. It shows off the colors. Looks like the jersey pretty good. And that's another way, you know, you use your favorite sports team to come up with color schemes for paint jobs like that. It looks really good. Now this one is based off my favorite weapon from Destiny, the Boolean Gemini. So I had to throw a cool Destiny paint job, and I just used metallic white, classic orange, and royal blue, and I've got me a Destiny type paint job, or Tennessee Vols, Volunteers. That's what a friend of mine thought it was. So if you're football, you can kind of come up with the same schemes. Now for this next one here, my favorite game of all time, Legend of Zelda. So I did have to create a paint job that goes with it. And this is what I came up with. I used foliage, matte green, race yellow pearl, and I used the brushed gold to give it that kind of sexy gold look. And I think this one came out pretty cool. I really dig the way this one looks. It's my Legend of Zelda car. I'll probably keep this one for a while like this. So I dig the way it looks, especially when you switch it around and you look at it in the shade. It really looks cool. And for my final car, of course, being a gamer, I had to create my favorite drink of all time paint job, which would be Mountain Dew. So here's my Mountain Dew Ruiner. It's funny that I put it on a Ruiner. And that's just metallic lime green with sunrise orange pearl and a metallic racing green. And I used red for the wheels. I think it came out pretty cool. So if you're really looking for something to come up with a paint scheme, just look outside the game. The other games, favorite products, stuff like that. It helps out a lot. And remember, you can add these same paint jobs to the vehicles that are in your hangar. Alright, well this is Grey Witch. I hope this video helps you out, and I will see you next time. Peace!